Inventory shelf life has two core functionalities, sales and purchasing. In this video, we will be going over its application for sales. Inventory shelf life app restricts the picking and shipping of items for which the expiration date minus the planned delivery date is less than the required shelf life. This ensures that outbound products heading to customers will not expire for a defined number of days. Firstly, to complete our inventory shelf life setup, we would search for inventory shelf life setup. On the left side of the page, we can see two fields, one for pick calculation date and one for post calculation date. These are the two fields applicable to the sales side of inventory shelf life setup. The pick calculation date is the date that will be used when calculating which inventory should be ignored if it does not adhere to the shelf life requirements when creating a pick. There are two options for this field, the planned delivery date and the work date. The planned delivery date is the planned date that the shipment will be delivered at the customer's address, while the work date is the date set as work date on Business Central. The post calculation date is the date that will be used when calculating if the selected inventory adheres to the shelf life requirements when posting a shipment. There are three options for this field, planned delivery date and work date that we discussed, and also posting date. The posting date is the date that usually the item or the quantity is shipped. For the purpose of this demonstration, we will be using planned delivery date for both fields. Now that we've completed our inventory shelf life setup, we can create shelf life codes. To do so, we would open the shelf life codes page. Here you can see we have some codes already set up. To create a new code, we would click on New and input the fields as necessary. For example, I can make a shelf life code for 10 days. And in the shelf life days field, we would enter the numeric value of the code. We can then take these codes and attach them to items, customers, and a combination of the two. For example, if I wanted to attach a code to an item, I would open the item card. Here, for example, breakfast sausage. And in the inventory fast tab, we can see there's a field for shelf life code. Here I've attached a shelf life code for 70 days dedicated for the item breakfast sausage. Similarly, for customers, I would open the customer card. For example, here, my local grocer. And if we scroll down to the shipping fast tab, we can see there's a field for shelf life code. Here I've attached the 50-day shelf life code dedicated to the customer, my local grocer. To attach a code to a combination of the two, we would open the item card once again. We would click on Related, Sales, Customer Shelf Life Codes. Now here you can see we have a code assigned to customer 92,000, which is my local grocer, or the item breakfast sausage, which was the item card we were just on. And the shelf life code assigned is a 60-day shelf life code dedicated to the item customer combination of breakfast sausage to my local grocer. Now that we've completed the setup requirements, we can see how inventory shelf life works in Business Central through a scenario. Let's assume we have a sales order for 100 cases of the item breakfast sausage for the customer, my local grocer. Our inventory shelf life setup is as follows. For the post calculation date, we've selected planned delivery date. In terms of codes, for the combination of the items breakfast sausage to the customer, my local grocer, we've selected a 60-day shelf life code. We'll go through two scenarios, one where our planned delivery date is September 1st, 2023, and one where our planned delivery date is July 8th, 2023. So let's open our sales order. And here we have a sales order for the item breakfast sausage to the customer, my local grocer, and for a quantity of 100 cases. Now, if we scroll to the right here, we can see that the shelf life code, or 60 days, that we've assigned to the combination of breakfast sausage to my local grocer has been automatically applied. From here, we will fill out our item tracking. We'll select our lot number. And here it's important to note that the breakfast sausages in the lot we've selected have an expiration date of September 14, 2023. So this is the expiration date that we will consider. Now from here, if we scroll to the right, we can find the planned delivery date field. And this date is automatically being set to match the current work date. Here, I'll change the planned delivery date to September 1st for our first scenario. And from here, if we try to post the sales order and ship our quantity, we will receive an error saying that the shelf life requirements have not been met. Now, the reason for this is that if our planned delivery date is September 1st, 2023, and the items expire on September 14, 2023, we will not fulfill the 60-day shelf life that has been assigned. Actually, the items will expire within 13 days, and they will not be able to sit on customers' shelves for more than 13 days. However, if we change the planned delivery date to our second scenario, which is July 8th, here we have more than 60 days between the planned delivery date and the item's expiration. So if we were to post and ship, we can see that the shipment did go through. We've seen the application of inventory shelf life for shipping a sales order. Now we're going to see the application of inventory shelf life for picking. We're going to use the same scenario as before with the same inventory shelf life setup and the same codes. However, this time our two planned delivery dates for our two different scenarios are set to September 1st and July 15. It's also important to note that the expiration date of the item we are using is still set for September 14. To start off with our pick, we're going to open up a sales order. And here I have a sales order for my local grocer for 100 cases of breakfast sausage. Now it's important to note that at this location ATH, picking is set to required. Now if we scroll all the way to the right, we can see that the 60-day shelf life code for the combination of breakfast sausage to my local grocer has automatically been set. Now we turn our attention to the planned delivery date. And the reason we're still looking at the planned delivery date in our pick is because this is the date we chose to consider in our inventory shelf life setup. So now, let's move forward with our first scenario where the planned delivery date is September 1st. From here, we'll create our warehouse shipment, and from here, we'll create our pick. We can see here that we get an error saying that the pick has not been completed because the expiration date of the items, or some of the items, do not satisfy shelf life requirement. Now this is because if our planned delivery date is September 1st, and the expiration date for these items is September 14, the 60-day shelf life requirement has not been met. Essentially, the system cannot find any items in bins that meet the specific shelf life requirement. Therefore, it does not allow the pick to move forward. Now let's look at a scenario where our planned delivery date is July 15 rather than September 1st. So on the planned delivery date field, we'll enter July 15, and we'll complete the rest of the steps as normal. We'll create a warehouse shipment, and then we'll create a pick. And here we get a notification saying that some items were not included in the pick because of their expiration date. Now the reason for this is that we have different lots that have different expiration dates. So some of the items in certain lots do not adhere to the shelf life requirements we have set for this sales order. And we can demonstrate that by going through shipment, pick lines, show document, where we can see more information on the details of the pick. And here we can see the lot number where the pick is going to take place. For lot number 4, the item breakfast sausage has an expiration date of September 14. This is the lot we are to consider in our scenario. However, for whatever reason, if the lot number is changed or changed by a warehouse employee, for example, to lot 5, we can see that this lot has an expiration date of July 31st and therefore will not meet expiration shelf life requirement. So if we have lot 5 where the expiration date is July 31st and our planned delivery date is July 15, and we have a shelf life requirement of 60 days, if I go to register the pick here, I will get a notification saying that the shelf life requirement is not met, therefore the pick cannot be completed. Now instead, if I were to go back to lot 4, where the expiration date of the lot is September 14, and we have a 60-day shelf life requirement, our planned delivery date is July 15. From here, if I was to register the pick, we can see that the pick was completed and has been removed from the list view. The Inventory Shelf Life app allows users to restrict the picking and shipping of items to ensure that items being picked and shipped to customers comply with their shelf life requirement.